You can't hide behind titles anymore. You can't hide behind all of your experience. If you don't know how to communicate it, it's irrelevant. That's exactly what social media does. It decentralizes information. And people who do not benefit from that do not like that.
Let's zoom through. Welcome to The Experience Exchange, the podcast for people who've spent decades building careers and are now asking, what's next? I'm Pippa Woodhead. In this series, we're having honest conversations about second acts, what it takes to reinvent yourself, how to rebuild credibility without the title, and why your experience still matters even when everything feels different. Let's get started. This episode of The Experience Exchange is about how younger generations form trust, credibility, and first impressions, and what many senior leaders misunderstand about that shift. For decades, trust came from titles, institutions, and polish. The corner office, the right credentials, these are the things that gave you authority. But when you think about your second act, whether that's advisory work, board positions, mentoring, or building something new, you'll be starting without the company name on your card, and the rules for earning credibility are different. Platforms like TikTok are cultural barometers showing us how trust works now, where authenticity matters more than credentials. You don't need to use TikTok, but understanding what the younger generation responds to and what they tune out matters if you want your experience to translate beyond your current role. I'm joined by Caitanya, an actress, MC, and content creator who's built trust with over 500,000 followers across TikTok and Instagram, without a corporate title behind her. She understands what makes someone feel worth listening to versus completely out of touch. This conversation isn't about becoming an influencer. It's about understanding how trust is earned today, so your valuable experience still lands with the people you want to reach. Let's start with the questions I'm going to try and make not too corporate-y. So, for someone over 45, they've never opened TikTok, what is the biggest misconception they have about the platform?
For me, it's a free marketing platform. Now, if I can wrangle that beast, I'll be able to use it for free. The only price that I have to pay is audacity. And
time.
It's scary. Yeah, no, but yes, time, yes. But also, I don't have the marketing budget as an entrepreneur to go and pay a bunch of people to create a campaign and post it on, I don't know what other platforms you have. Like TV is so expensive. Newspaper articles are so expensive. But social media is free. It enables me to do and reach audiences that I guess all of us have never thought we could reach before. And that's really changed the game for everyone. Because now a 21-year-old that just graduated or didn't even graduate university can start a business and thrive on it. Why would they need a job?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an exceptional time, really, that a 21-year-old creator can have more global influence than a big name CEO, right? It's kind of bonkers.
Mad. Yeah, I can see why people are worried about that because we've changed the game. And with any change that has to happen, some people have to, pivot.
Yes. So I'm hoping that listeners and viewers, that we can give them a bit of an understanding of this online world that might seem very new to them. So when somebody in their 20s comes across a new person online, like a senior corporate leader, how quickly do they decide whether this person feels credible? What are they picking up on in those first seconds?
The word is authenticity.
Yeah.
It's very hard to describe what that is because for the longest time, we're told to not be ourselves. We have to be polished. We have to be perfect in order to be hired, in order to be relevant, in order to be listened to or paid attention to. But social media changed that game for a lot of people. Yeah. So it's almost like flipping everything on its head and saying, now we function like this. Yes. We're all walking on our heads now. And people that have always walked with their feet will look at this and be like, yeah, but how is this possible? How can you share so much of who you are and all the vulnerabilities that come with you as a human being and still not be seen as weak, not be seen as, and be seen as competent?
Yeah.
How can a person that cries or shows emotion also make sound decisions? And I think that's something very interesting because it is strong to admit that you have failed. Think about how hard that is to say, I messed up and admit it like a real human being should, like we're taught when we're children. instead of going, yeah, you know what, someone else, it's like, I made that decision for a purpose or whatever, right? Like, oh, this is the polished version, I can do no wrong. There is no vulnerability in that. There's no authenticity in that. There is no trust in someone that, well, quote unquote, without using corporate terms, fakes it to make it. We don't like that anymore. We're tired of it. Now think about it like filters, right? Very easy. You just have to think about filters, AR filters that make you look enhanced on social media, right? And people are like, oh, we can't trust these people anymore. They don't look like this, but they put on this filter and suddenly they're beautiful and that's why we follow them. Okay, I get it. But like, that's the same thing when you're polished and when you're perfect and you only show that. The same reason you don't like to see a creator with a ton of makeup or filters on is the same reason we don't like to work for people who just appear like they're perfect, because it's not human. How can we trust them to care about us and our career progression or advancement or work-life balance if they don't display any human side to them at all? Does that make sense?
Yes, I love that.
I was like sweating because I'm like, I need to answer these corporate questions.
No, I really love that. And actually, I watched a TikTok video from Mark Randolph, who's the former CEO of Netflix. I'm going to read this quote. He said, I think there's a simple reason why corporate CEOs are generally fearful of using a platform like TikTok. It's because TikTok requires you to be genuine. If I showed up wearing a suit with good lighting and rehearsed cue cards, you would click away in a second. And that's true, right? People are done with this very sanitized corporate content. But for someone who spent 30 years being polished, this is a whole new muscle to start flexing, right? Can you talk to that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's the same as, as a content creator, right? From like the hosting, because I do hosting as well, right? MCing, and I also do voiceover. And I have to do voiceovers for corporate videos as well. And obviously, it's how you spoke.
It's how I speak.
Yeah, it's how you speak, and it's how some corporate people speak, right? But, saying those words, understanding what that means is one thing, right? But understanding that if I want to touch people's souls or like make them buy through emotion, the corporate way isn't the way, right? And I think a good analogy to that is copy is not the same as like if I was scripting for a company for a UGC or like user generated content video, right? If I tell you that this glass will not break and I say all these good things, you're like, yeah, but it's a glass though, right? It will break, right? But if I threw in there a line that says, of course, don't throw it from the third story, that everything will break, right? If you throw it if you dropped it from the third story, then suddenly there's like a human side and people are like, oh, I guess that's true. I mean, like, it's not indestructible. Like, what is it? Like, you know what I mean? It's not Superman, right?
Yeah.
It's the same way, creators like to throw in a little bit of a joke, or like they'll say something and they won't edit it out because it shows like, oh, sorry, I think I said, wait, hang on. And it's kind of funny to watch someone go through something like that, the process of correcting themselves. It makes them human, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if you're too perfect, like, you're selling me something. I want to connect with you. But like, people want to feel like they're talking to a friend or a friend is talking to them.
Yes.
Like, with no expectations. They don't want to be sold to anymore.
Yeah, quite. Okay, so when senior leaders do show up online, whether it's LinkedIn, video, whatever it is, what are the tells that will make a younger audience think, oh, corporate robot versus, oh, this is an actual human with experience I want to listen to?
Senior leader. Okay, I'm just thinking age group now, right? Like, and then younger person. I'm not that young of a younger person, but like the thing that I think I would listen to is someone who's talking to me as if they're like a friend.
Yeah.
Like, someone like cordial, but or just themselves. Like, you can be unhinged. We don't judge imperfections as harshly now, actually, which is surprise. I don't know if people know that, but we don't judge imperfections as harshly now. We consider them quirks. They make us human, right? So if you're maybe 45 and above, maybe talk to the camera as if you're talking to either a friend or maybe not coworker, maybe your child. Right? You wouldn't be condescending to your child. You wouldn't be too perfect or polished when you're talking to your child. You just say it so that they will understand. It's a lot less work than it used to be honest with you. To have to think about the corporate way of saying something. I think also as a millennial, I've never been in the corporate world, like just by virtue of my choice of career path and industry, right? But like also this at the same time, I have had to deal with corporate people because that's who you do business with or who you coach or who you strategize for. You still have to speak to them like you mean business, right? Which is very interesting because sometimes I think when you ditch the suit, you start to really feel like you don't need to be perfect. And when you speak to a person without the airs, that's when they don't feel undermined, or they don't feel like, oh, you're saying things, but like it's only because you know better than I do. Because you're only able to sell a service because these people don't know better than you do, right? But if you make them feel like they're unintelligent, or if they don't even understand what you're trying to communicate because it's too high level, too polished, then how can they click that link to buy?
So, I mean, I know you don't come from a corporate background, but in what ways, from your perspective, do you think TikTok is shaping the world of work, or how younger people today view their leaders?
I think we're seeing that that it's possible to be successful and be human at the same time. And we want duality, right? And if our I guess, senior leaders or, the people that I work with in corporate, if they don't, I guess, display an ounce of humanity when I communicate with them via Zoom, I think the perspective that I would have is that they're just there to make me execute something for them, not also sort of like align with their mission, their ethos. I think purpose and values mean a lot to us now, and that's definitely because of social media. There's like 1.5 to 1.6 billion users and creators on social media, and TikTok alone, aside from just China as well. But we're able to find someone that we resonate with. And so we want to resonate with the company's ethos or mission rather than just be a number that's made use of to execute the greater plan, right? Without consideration of how, we're going to be able to climb that ladder or be taken care of. And then one day just be made redundant. We don't feel safe. I don't speak for everyone, obviously, but from everything that I'm hearing and, from everything I'm reading up on and the comments I see on my page and my videos, whenever such a topic comes up, it does make me feel like people are very tired of being underappreciated and undermined.
Yeah, I think very true. And I mean, are there any cultural moments that anyone who's never opened TikTok before, any cultural moments, references, or shifts that have come from TikTok that people that aren't users might miss?
Are we talking trends?
I guess so. I mean, I think so. We were talking about outside. I was thinking sort of like quiet quitting, I think is a really interesting example. Because that was a thing that snowballed on TikTok. And then I think probably 6 months later, people at work started saying, have you heard about this quiet quitting thing? Should we be worried about this?
Yeah, no, I think people should worry about this because it's only a reflection of how they've been treating their employees and co-workers. And, also in the previous generation, we were told to suck it up, do the job. But with the advent of social media, we are seeing a lot more people that are taking a stand. And remember, people are now driven by purpose and values and mission and ethos, right? And seeing other people muster the strength to do what is right for them.
Yes.
Another buzzword that I think maybe Gen Xers and Boomers don't like is boundaries, right? We're now seeing boundaries being echoed on social media. We're building a tribe without having met these people. The perspectives that we hold dear and the boundaries that we want to uphold for ourselves are being resonated through other creators also saying, I'm going to put a foot down right now. You cannot gaslight me into doing things I want, over a paycheck. And it's powerful. So it is inconvenient for people from a different age group. It's definitely jarring from someone who has experienced life a little bit different.
Yeah. Anyone can have a video go viral now. If you're being treated badly at work, you can pick up, oh my God, you won't believe what happened at work today. And then all of a sudden that's around the world.
But then why? Why does it exist though? It's because people are being treated terribly at work.
Well,
and they didn't have a platform before to talk about it, but now they do. And so many people resonating with that message must tell you something. It must tell you that this needs to stop. And to me, it's not about culture shifting because someone's created something. It's about mirroring and relatability. If I make a statement on social media and nobody relates, then maybe it's just isolated to me or 10 people. But if I say something, if I make a statement on social media and millions of people are like, yes, they gaslight you and then they make you redundant after they've milked you for all you've got, then I think it's a societal problem and social media has nothing to do with it. It's simply an amplification of our frustrations reflected back to us.
And so then a kind of, what's the word? Like TikTok can be like a barometer for cultural things that are happening.
Yeah, digital cultural revolutions, right? Like it's peaceful protests. It's online.
Yeah.
Peaceful-ish, we have trolls and everything. But it is a barometer for society and how we're tired of certain things. And now we can hide behind no name, no face and make a stand or take a stand and make a statement.
If someone is building something new, whether it's an advisory practice or they're starting to coach or working with younger professionals, but they've never used TikTok or Instagram, what cultural shifts or expectations are they completely missing that could undermine their credibility?
Forget about polished. I think we've said this so many times, but I think that the core of all of the things we're discussing is the culture that we've shifted from is this polished exterior, this impenetrable perfection, because that's inauthentic. If anything, I think it's probably going to help a senior leader or anyone restarting to grow closer to who they are. And when you show up as who you are, people are less likely to judge you. Like it's wild. It's wild. Like at the beginning, it was like, who is she? Right? For me anyway, it was like, who is she? And they poked and they prodded. And then after a while, they're like, we know her now. She's as you see her, because we see her in public. She's exactly the same. Right? And there is merit to that in our day and age. I'm actually still shocked and surprised that there is no merit to that back in the day. Like you have to come like a Stepford wife or like perfect parenting and all that, right? But now, as you are is what's prized. So I think if anyone is starting a new career and they're utilizing social media and they're not familiar with it, well, here's a thought. If your video doesn't do well, only 200 people have seen it, delete it, try again. Because if the video goes viral, that's when you know that what you've said has made an impact and resonated with a bunch of people that are watching it.
Yeah. And you can repeat that because you've found out what works.
Because you have a lot more, they probably have, these senior leaders probably have a lot more experience than a lot of us millennials and Gen Zs. And we want to know that if we did X, Y, Z, A, B, C, we would be able to achieve part of the success that they're enjoying right now. But if it's spoken to us in a way that's condescending or invulnerable, then we can't relate. It means we have to change who we are in order to get there. And I don't think people are willing to do that anymore. I mean, there might still be people who are willing to do that, but they come across as robotic.
Yeah.
But also, having said all of that, I feel like there's always going to be a market for people. It takes so many different types of people to make social media as thriving as it is. There is a market, there's a slice of pie for every single personality type. You could have people who still want to listen to aspirational leaders, not relatable people, and vice versa. Your vibe will attract your tribe, as we say it.
I like that. If you were to try and explain TikTok to a very serious boardroom and explain it sort of culturally to them, what would you say?
Oh my gosh. As in how to create a video?
More like this is
Why
the
they need
essence
to
of
use
TikTok. Like for a load of people who've never opened TikTok before.
For people who've never opened TikTok before, what can you expect? Expect a slice of raw, unfiltered, real life from a large section of the people who create content on there.
It could be quite poetic. Like life is on this platform.
It is. I mean, it's quite artistic, really, what people are able to share. And don't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they get hooked because it is so refreshing. One of my favorite creators, Hank Green, he's a biologist. He creates 1-minute videos almost every day, talking about things like why butterflies are shaped the way they are. And you learn something new every single time. And he's a certified, he's an author. His brother, John Green, as well, has all of these fun facts that you would never otherwise even be exposed to enough to pique your interest to research, right? It's like headway for broader topics, for topics that you might take an interest in. Headway, the app.
Yeah.
Condenses like a book. And then you decide, oh yeah, I want to know more about this. So I'm going to go buy the book or listen to it or something like that. It's kind of like Headway. It's like, here's 1 minute or even longer videos about this topic. And I can't even describe to you how vast. TikTok has such a wide range of easily searchable topics. What do you like, Pippa? Do you like to know how to cook a meal? A Vietnamese dish?
Sure, yeah.
Type Vietnamese spring rolls and watch what shows up. Their algorithm is so advanced and so strong. It literally curates everything that you're watching and gives you more of that.
It's like a search engine, right?
Yes, and people depend on it. Gen Z and millennial, we depend on it because we don't want to see the article version of why you should go eat at this restaurant. We want to see someone's experience. And this person might not even be like, oh, this is a perfect place for this and that. They might be like, loved it, hated the meal, so I wouldn't pay $54 for this entire experience. Then you have a balanced experience or a balanced perception of this place before you get to go. Before you decide if you want to go and spend money at this place. And I think that's exactly what social media does. It decentralizes information. And people who do not benefit from that do not like that.
Okay, one more question. So what is the one thing you think senior leaders should understand about how influence and trust now works, especially when they're trying to stay relevant in a second career?
You can't hide behind titles anymore. You can't hide behind all of your experience. If you don't know how to communicate it, it's irrelevant. You don't know how to communicate it in a way that provides value to people, then you're irrelevant. It's harsh. So I think to flip it, the way to stay relevant is to stop rejecting things that are widely used in our day and age and throwing them in the, oh, this is frivolous basket. Oh, this is not smart. This is, short attention span, what have you, right? Fill in the blanks. We've heard it all. Instead of rejecting something, maybe try using it because everything, technology, money, anything at all is a terrible master, but a good servant if you learn how to wrangle the beast. So if you're starting a new business, social media is your best friend. You have just a lot of money sitting in the bank and you can hire an entire team to do everything for you. Social media is really helpful. And when people are watching you on social media, they can ascertain whether or not you as a person who's going to be speaking to them at this seminar or like this course is going to resonate for them. But again, remember, like, you'll find your people. In order to find your people, you just have to be yourself.
Very nice. Super interesting. Thank you so much, Kat, for talking about this with me. Thanks
for inviting me. This was lovely because I get to think and I love to think.
Oh, good. Me too. Well done.
Thanks for having me, Pips.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening to the Experience Exchange. I'm Pippa Woodhead. If you're thinking about or starting a second act career, have a look at the other episodes in this series. They've been designed with you in mind. And if you're in Singapore, come visit the Experience Exchange on Ang Siang Road, where these conversations happen in person. See you next time.